got one for the guys today. I love this new set called In the Toolbox. I've had so much fun with this. So we will show you what we'll be using. Here is the set, and you've got the toolbox, lots of sentiments, lots of tools there. You can mix and match. There's a little slit in the toolbox so you can put them right inside there. We're going to be using the stitch square pegboard, and this section here, we're going to make a pegboard for our background. Okay. The double pierced squares are going to be used to frame the pegboard. We're going to make it a little bit smaller. So I've started doing a little bit of the background. Now this is what I call faux leather, but what you need to do is just a little bit of masking tape. I'm going to peel it off and just rip it. And you want to have different shapes and whatnot. Don't worry, there's always going to be two straight edges. You're going to just tear some pieces off and just build it up. Just go along, lay it on top of each other, twist it and turn it, and you're going to fill in your entire piece of card, okay? So if you start out with large pieces, keep them a little bit larger. If you start out with little ones, keep it a little bit smaller, and you'll have a lot of overlap. It does take a few minutes to do this, but I think it's worth it. You're going to finish the whole entire piece, trim around the edge, okay? And then I've got one I've done earlier. Now I've even used a different sort of shade of masking tape. It doesn't matter. It's fine. So you can see you've got all that. And I did that on black card because I wanted some of that black to kind of show through. But the other thing we're going to do is I'm going to bring in the Vintage Photo Distress Oxide, and just straight from the pad, I'm going to lightly go over this and just add a bit of color to that. There we go. And I'm going to take a piece of kitchen roll and just sort of take all the really wet parts off, smooth it down, and give it that really distressed looking background. In fact, I can put a little more on this side, go back, even that out. There we go. Take all the really wet parts off. So what it does is it'll pick up all those edges and give you a really gorgeous background. So we'll put that onto our card. I've done a little bit of piercing and layering. I've added some Kraft card and some black card to sort of bring in those same colors. There we go. Start there, and I'll give you a quick measurement on that too. 7 1/4 by 5 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to make my pegboard using the center of this. Now I wanted a smaller piece than this, so I've just cut it the size I want it, and I'm just going to pop it down and give it a quick run. Okay. So you can see you have something that looks just like pegboard. I just love the way this comes out. Using the double pierced square nobles, I've created a little frame for it. Just use some chestnut brown card. I'm going to add a little bit of mounting foam to raise it. Center that. There we go. Okay. So now we've got a place that we can add our tools. So I've gone ahead and cut quite a few of these tools out of just the Kraft card. So I'm going to bring in a silver paint pen and just show you what I've done. Just going to paint the tips and the little arms there. On this one, I'm going to leave the top that color and just do the bottom silver. Oops. And on the hammer, I'm just going to do the top silver. There we go. And here's our little wrench, I think we call that. Or maybe it's a spanner. I don't know my tools very well, I have to admit. And a couple of nails. And we'll just give them a quick coat with the silver pen. Oops, oops. Let's get that one. And see if I can get that one turned over. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we'll give that a second to dry. And I'm going to cut the toolbox here. Use a little bit of tape, make sure that stays. Set those to the side, and while they're drying, I'll even go back and use a little bit of vintage photo through the die. Give it a little bit of an accent. Let me remove my tape. Bring out that little wood grain that's on there. Okay. That should do it. So you can see how cute that is. There's a little slit there. So what we're going to do is build up our tools into the toolbox. So I'm going to go back. I've got a saw that I've done. I've done a little bit of silver on that one. So we can slip that in. And I'm just going to use a tiny bit of tape on the back there just to hold it into place. Okay. I've got a level. Push that through. Just like that. I'm going to have that just sort of sticking out the top. Got the pliers. We're going to kind of hang those in and out. I think we can do a little bit of both there. Hold that into place. And I've got a little wrench. I think that's what these are called. And I'm just going to have him coming up from behind that saw. So I'll put a little bit of tape on that. Oops. Just hold those into place. Okay, and I've done 3 of the nails, so let me see if I can pick those up. I'm just going to grab a little bit of sticky, and we're going to stick them in right here, just so they're kind of coming out the top of the toolbox. And a couple more over here. They're small, but I think they're really cute, and might even be able to get a little bit of tape on the back there. So some mounting foam across the back. In fact, let's use a second piece and really raise it for some dimension. Okay, so our toolbox is finished. We're going to do the pegboard. So I've cut the drill. I've used a little bit of the silver paint pen on that. So we are going to glue that directly onto our pegboard up in the corner, like it's hanging. There we go. Got the hammer. In fact, let's use this one. I think it came out a little nicer. Put a little bit of glue on that. Put that right to the side. There we go. Give that a second to set up. Put our little wrench on there. And put him, line him up underneath our drill. And then the screwdrivers, since you usually see those with sort of colored handles, I thought I'll bring in barn door distress marker and just give it a little bit of a red to this one. There we go. And the other one, I'm going to bring in a little mustard seed and make that one yellow, just for a little variety. Give that a second. Okay, and bring back these guys, the glue. So I've got the pliers, and we'll put those right under there, and the screwdriver. And let's pop that like that. And actually, I'm going to take the wrench out of here and trade it for the other one. So I have a little bit of a difference there. And my last little screwdriver on the side here. We'll just put it over like that. So a little bit of glue on the back of this one. Put that into the top of our card, about like so. Give that a second to set up. Give that a few more seconds. We can put our toolbox in the bottom corner, like that. And I'm going to add a hammer, just sitting off to the side here, and a couple of the nails. Just loose. Sort of crisscross them like they've fallen out of the toolbox. Okay, now the Grandad, I've gone ahead, I've cut it in white and put a little bit of a black shadow, and I've got the word best. They're both on the set. So we're going to just take and hit the tops of them a tiny bit with the Vintage Photo Distress Oxide, just to give it a little bit of that color. Ever so slightly there. So let's use some spray glue. Okay, put that one up in the corner like that, and Grandad right underneath that. There we go. And I just love the way that that has come out. Isn't that a nice background for that tool card? So I think any man in your family or friends would love a card like this, don't you? Hope you've enjoyed today's video.